What it do, YouTube? It's your boy JayrockReacts, aka Jay, back with another video. And we just reacting. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get the words out. You feel me? So bear with me. You know what I'm saying? But we just reacting to how things actually are, the size of things. Pause. But yeah, let's get into it.
Forget everything you ever thought you knew about our world. Planet Earth? Yeah, it's tiny. And our countries? The maps have been lying to us. It's all totally disproportionate. Some animals
Yeah, I've been knew that.
Enormous.
Yeah, how many people actually knew that, like, the world, the Earth is really small?
Once famous cruise ships now just seem like rubber toys in a bathtub. Get ready to have your mind blown, because there are so many things that are completely different to what our minds have come to accept. There's around 7.8 billion people in the world. If you, me, and every one of those others had 19,000 kids, then we'd still have enough room for everyone on this big planet. Crazy, right? Earth is the biggest thing that we experience, and it would take us a whopping 45 hours to fly around its circumference. Well, actually, compared to that giant ball of gas in the sky, yeah, the sun, our planet is just a speck of dust. The sun
that's
is bigger than we
crazy.
could ever imagine. It's 864,400 miles across. On a 2D image, you can fit 109 Earths from one end to the other. But in 3D mode, a whopping 1,300,000 planet Earths can fit inside our sun. Still, that's way hard to fathom. So let's paint a picture. A football field is about 360 feet. If we stack them end to end over 116,000 times, you have the Earth's diameter. Then do that 109 more times, and you've got our glorious sun.
Damn, the sun's big as hell.
Unfathomably large, but it's also heavy. Like 333,000 times the Earth kind of heavy. But why do we look at the sun?
Bro, how the hell do they know this?
Well, we feel its warmth and we see it rise and set in the sky, so we assume it's within close range. That's just not true. In reality, it would take 19 years to fly there. If we look at the bigger picture, though, even the sun can be considered tiny. The Milky Way is 890 billion times the mass of the sun. As you can see, our minds sometimes play tricks on us and make things appear closer than they really are. Turns out, it's not just our minds that have us fooled. The classic map of the world has fooled us too. Russia is huge, so is China. And the USA is pretty big too. Algeria seems kind of small, and Japan is tiny in comparison. But we've been looking at it all wrong. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2D map. How would a 2D map possibly convey a 3D world? The answer, it can't.
It can't.
Unless you're a flat earther, like Kyrie Irving or B.O.B., it's all inaccurate. Japan's not so tiny after all. If it were hanging out next to Greenland, they'd be the same height. See Algeria? Believe it or not, it's bigger than Alaska. Australia is the same width as the USA. And if we took the little old island of Madagascar and placed it on the American East Coast, are you ready for this? It'd cover all of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Vermont, Delaware, Virginia, and North Carolina combined. In the land down under, it's not just the geography that's out of whack. Local wildlife have their own story to tell. We all know the giant emus and powerful kangaroos. Those marsupials can get pretty big and pretty darn buff. Just take a look at Roger the Ripped Kangaroo.
That's a strong-ass kangaroo now.
Australia, that's way bigger than most people realize. This, folks, is a wombat. Cute and small, right? Ha! Wrong. Take a peek at it next to this human, and then pick your jaw up from the floor. These furry creatures can weigh up to 90 pounds. That's 41 kilograms. The equivalent of the average 13-year-old human. It would take 2 fully grown border collies to even the scales, or 10 average house cats. Give this video a like if this surprised you, or comment if this is the first time you've ever seen a wombat. That's actually why we expect these animals to be smaller than they are, because we rarely see them. Compared to the more famous koalas and kangaroos, they're seldom found in international zoos. Still cute, though, right?
Can't front. Every time I think of a koala bear, I think of I can't think of the movie. Is it The Lion King? No, it's not The Lion King. It's a movie that's on Disney, I think, and it's like this talking koala in the zoo. I can't think of the movie, man.
Our next guest, on the other hand, doesn't quite fall into the cute category. What about the huge category? Oh, you bet
They still got
it
these
does.
big ass
This
pterodactyls.
is the Quetzalcoatlus northropi, also known as one of the biggest flying animals of all time. It weighed between 440 and 550 pounds, or 200 to 250 kilograms, and boasted an intimidating wingspan of up to 45 feet. That's 4 times bigger than the largest bird that exists today, the Royal Albatross. When not gliding through the air, Quetzalcoatlus stood at over 16 feet, or 5 meters. That's almost 4 pelicans stacked head to toe, and the only animal that even comes close is a giraffe. Now that we think about it, it kind of looks like a weird combination of the two, doesn't it? Next to a human, it's all kinds
Once again,
of
I would literally piss my pants if I seen this shit flying in the sky. You don't know what the fuck it's gonna do. Like,
ask us. Paleontologist Mark Witton seems to think that these winged beasts could have flown 10,000 miles non-stop. That's like going from New York to Sydney, hitting max speeds of 80 miles an hour along the way. Of course, this colossal flyer went extinct 66 million years ago, so don't expect to see it anytime soon. While not nearly as old as that, our next fascinating subject has been around for quite a long time too, and it's actually a world wonder. Sure, Machu Picchu and the Great Wall of China are old,
fuck is
but
Machu
technically
Picchu?
they're only wonders of the new.
The fuck is that?
We're talking, of course, about the Great Pyramid of Giza, the only.
Oh yeah. Bro, it's you cannot tell me that moving something back and forth and y'all can build this. It's just no way. I just think they had technology back then. It's just no way. Men, women, humans literally lifted these blocks and placed them. It's just no way. You cannot tell me otherwise.
World that is still standing. There are about 80 pyramids known today from ancient Egypt. The most famous, of course, is the Great Pyramid, dating back to around 2560 BC. At a neck-straining 456 feet tall, that's 139 meters, you would need 76 Bradley Coopers standing on each other's heads.
Who the fuck is
Don't
Bradley
believe us?
Cooper?
Check out this photo of a tourist chilling at the bottom. It's bigger than both Big Ben and the Statue of Liberty. But of course, most of us haven't seen it for ourselves. And since it's important for visitors to capture the whole pyramid to show off to their friends, the majority of photos are from a considerable distance. Making an appearance next, the wondrous, ill-fated RMS Titanic. For all those who didn't shed a tear while watching James Cameron's film, the Titanic was the largest ship ever to set sail when it made its maiden voyage in 1912, until it hit an iceberg and sank. Before falling to the bottom of the ocean, the luxury cruise liner measured 880
Have they?
feet.
They still haven't found the Titanic.
And could hold
Have they?
3,547.
Wait, I'm wild.
That's insane.
Excuse that. Don't even
Especially
excuse
for over a
that. Don't even pay that no
It was
mind.
so impressive and tragic that many of us would assume that no ship of its size was ever built again. But oh, those people would be so wrong. Next to Royal Caribbean's new Symphony of the Seas cruise ship, the Titanic looks like a teeny tiny tugboat. Symphony is also twice as high and twice as wide as the Titanic, and capable of fitting 8,461 people. So whether you see the Titanic as small or the Symphony of the Sea as gigantic, it's dramatic either way.
I've been on a cruise. Before. I've been on a cruise to Bermuda, and them boats, especially when they start turning off the stabilizers at night, bro, you just moving back and forth, and shit just be smacking each other, and it's just a crazy experience. I'll do it again though, even though I don't know how to swim.
Sometimes the size of everyday objects can be misleading too. Take for example the humble yet necessary road sign. Who here has ever looked up at one of those green signs when driving and thought, how did that get there in the first place? It turns out they're made in giant factories, and when we say giant, we mean it. You see, they look small to us on the road because we're usually hurling past them at light speed, and they're deliberately made to be seen from a distance. In reality, when we catch them up close, they are frickin' huge. You see what we're talking about? A sign on a freeway that spans 2 or more lanes can easily be larger than 25 feet. Even
Damn.
the one-lane signs are wider than most cars. Oh, curious as to why they're always green? Traditionally, green is more visible and less distracting to motorists at nighttime. From concrete jungles to actual ones, let's take a look at the real king of the jungle, the gorilla. We know that these animals are large compared
strong,
to chimpanzees, orangutans, and those
look at my brothers and sisters.
Gorilla's actual size might just shock some of you, especially the eastern lowland gorilla, the largest of the 4 subspecies. They weigh twice as much as the average human and are taller than Jon Snow himself, Kit Harington, when standing on their rear legs.
People?
And check out those massive hands. So why are they so much bigger than we realize? Well, first off, be honest. How often have you been face to face with a gorilla? Exactly. Plus, even if you've ever seen one in a zoo or even in the wild, they would have either been hanging out on their backside, hunched over, or walking around on all fours. Swimming along next is the menacing, potentially misunderstood anglerfish. Made famous by luring in Marlin and Dory with her glowing dorsal fin in Finding Nemo, the anglerfish hangs out in the dark depths of the oceans. For precisely that reason, humans seldom see them face to face, and if they're photographed by divers, the fish is usually all alone, so we can't compare it to anything we know. Therefore, you, I, and everybody else remains entirely clueless to the fact that these guys are way bigger than we think. So how big are we talking? Up to 3.3 feet in length and weighing up to 70 pounds. That's half the length of the bed you sleep on and almost as heavy as the wombat we saw earlier. Want to find out what's hiding deep in the mysterious depths of the Marianas Trench? Check out our video, linked in the description. Over to Europe now, where some pieces of art, no matter their size, have larger-than-life reputations. On one end of the spectrum, the Mona Lisa is underwhelmingly small, surrounded by gawking, photo-happy tourists. On the other hand, one infamous unclad statue is impressively large. No, not in that way. Yep, Michelangelo's David.
Bro,
in the Galleria
come
in
on.
Florence, Italy.
Why? And I'm still watching it. What am I doing? Why? Skip. Bro, get it off my...
It comes down to the photos we look at. Tourist photos, mainly. In order to get the entire piece of art...
I just knew they was going to put his willy out there. Like, what's to see his willy?
Away, voila. He and it appear smaller. Which of these things surprised you the most? Let us...
Alright, guys. End of the video. Stay tuned. Roll to 2K subs. We're on the grind, bro. It don't stop. The only way we're going is up. Click that big red button, share, like, comment, and send me videos to react to, man. I don't react to, you know, you get what I'm saying. I just react to anything, man. As you can see, we just actual things of size. But always stay tuned. Love all the love and support. Whoa. 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 Whoa.